Hello you guys and welcome back. We are in the middle of the Build Your Frankenplanner series, and the last video was creating this for my planner categories. I wrote the planner categories or sections that I basically life categories that I want to keep track of. These are my main focuses, things that I have goals in or just need to have organized and want to be productive and intentional in. And I wanted to actually put home and family here, which could also maybe even be like, when I say family, that's kids, marriage, all of that stuff. And then after making this list, I put all the little things that we want to make sure that I keep track of and include in my planner. So if it's a section for home and family, I want to make sure that my layout has areas where I can keep track of all of these things, or at least something in that area. Some things might end up having to go. Some things aren't a big deal and they won't take up much space, but some things could take up a big chunk of the space. And I need a good system for that. Same with homeschool, my business, which is also kind of my hobbies, my budgeting, faith and Bible. I have health and wellness and memory keeping. And this is over time, you guys. I used to have a longer list. I didn't think I'd ever have this many at one point as well. And I have just figured out how I can kind of combine some of them. And so you are going to find that out in the process if you are new to having a planner, just to let you know. So don't get hard on yourself if you feel like a lot of changes get made, or every day you feel like something's not working. That's kind of why we do this, and you want to do this every now and then anyways. So today what I'm going to show you is how I keep track of all of these in my Catchall planner. So I did show my Catchall section of my planner a couple videos ago, and I have quite a few different videos out there on my channel anyways for this. But I wanted to tell you right now that this Catchall weekly section has been a work in progress, and it continues to be for a long time. I love Happy Planner layouts. I have tried lots and lots of them, and I absolutely love them. Like you will see, let's see, where are you? I have a dashboard right here that I'm just like, I can't wait to use, but I let the season go. And so because I kept finding that I needed something that was more functional for me, something that will help me be more productive and intentional. And this is what I have found that works for me. If you are interested in this, it is in my Etsy shop. The link is always down below. However, this may not be for you, but it is something that is fun to try. And it's not like I just made this my first time making anything and it worked. I made many, many other things. I have many other things on my shop that I made, that I used, that worked for a while, but then I realized I needed just a little bit something else, or something else here. I need to take something off because it wasn't working, or it wasn't getting used, or whatever. So, and that's the fun in all of this, right? You get to find different things that work for you. However, now I do have a bunch of Happy Planners. I do use them, but not as much as I would like, because I found out that my planner needed to be more specific to my needs. So I ended up making this. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I keep track of all of these things here. And first, we're going to start off with home and family. That's like the biggest one right there. I wanted to make sure that I had a spot for events and reminders. I didn't need anything huge, but I did need a spot to remind me what was going on that day. So how I've been using this is I end up having, I made this row here, big enough to put like a sticker or just write things in. But besides these first two rows, the other ones are very just like a normal space for a line. And the idea that I use this for is, now this is more like meal planning, but this is this first box, it's like the first thing I ask myself, what's for dinner tonight? And I actually do have something that says what's for dinner here. I just don't have it typed in on this one. And it asks me what's for dinner. So that's what I've been doing here. But other than that, I've been keeping track in the second box, like what's going on that day. So today I had this appointment right here from 9 to 11. And sometimes there's more things that happen in a day, but typically I can get away with squeezing it in there, and that's okay for me. Otherwise, the rest of the lines, so I'm going to kind of check these off as I go over them with you. So those are for events, reminders, or appointments. Sometimes the reminders are part of my to-do list, which that's what this section is with the regular lines. I keep track of my to-do list here, which I will check off some of these. So that is where I keep track of my daily to-do lists. However, I have other lists as well. I don't just have one typical list. I have a running to-do list for the week going on over here. And I actually may end up making it a little bit longer because, as you can see, I like space between things. And I'm running out of space here. And I'm not really using my Monday through Sunday section here as much. So I'm either going to use a sticker probably next week and cover that up. What I was doing here, just so you know, is writing down my kids' lunches, and I need to catch up on that. But it's just so I can look back and plan. Sometimes I plan better when I can look back. But so here's my other this is my running weekly to-do list. So whatever I don't get done here, I actually reevaluate when I do my weekly reset, and I rewrite every single thing that I don't get done on my new one. It's just my way of holding myself accountable. If I can get stuff done, I don't have to rewrite it, yay. But if I can't get it done, I have to rewrite it. So I did take care of that one. Whew. All right, so that takes care of to-do lists. I should also mention that these down here are another form of a to-do list for me, because I usually have different things in my life that I take care of that I needed an extra space for to-do lists, not necessarily daily, not necessarily weekly or monthly. Basically, as I get something done, I check it off and then I write the next thing that I want to get done. So it's not a running to-do list really. It is just basically once I do something else, then I can allow myself to write the next thing, if that makes any sense. And that's a whole nother video, probably is about how to take care of to-do lists and stuff like that. But I have different style of to-do lists, and I find that that works really well for me. Having every single thing on one paper just didn't work well for me. Having my dailies that come up, like cut my kids' nails or vacuum the couch, like something random, like maybe I saw something outside that needs to get taken care of and I can't do it in that moment, I write it here. So as you can see, some days just don't even have anything. And that is how I do my daily to-dos. My category to-dos I have here, or I can go over to this section, and I have this section as well. My running to-do list goes here, and if I run out of space there, I can go to this section and add it here. So that's how I do my to-do lists. So that's actually a very important category that I keep in, subcategory that I keep in my home and family category. Meal planning and grocery lists for me are pretty similar. So I found when I was creating this catch-all spread that I needed almost like a whole page for this. So my meal planning actually goes here. I was keeping it here, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I just that was just kind of what I did, because there's 8 boxes. So there was 7, enough for every day of the week. But then I didn't like the fact that I had to, I don't like saying Monday is going to be this. If I don't feel like it that day, then I cook something else. But it was, it was fine. But what I found working is just randomly putting ideas for dinners and other types of meals here, and making sure that I wrote the things I need here for my grocery list. That's what works for me. I thought I was going to need more space than this, but I played around with this for a couple different weeks, and that is what I found works best for me for future meal planning. And then what I do when the new week comes is I kind of like look back at this week as what my options are, or I will end up writing them in up here. Or if I don't want to assign them to a day, I'll kind of cover this up and write my options here. I just kind of go with it. I do have a whiteboard calendar on my fridge, and a lot of times my ideas go there because that's where I can see quickest when I'm in the kitchen wondering what I should make for dinner. So it just kind of isn't something I need set in stone in my planner, but I do have an area where I can brainstorm ideas for the next week and write my grocery list here. So that's for meal planning and grocery list. And projects, if I have any time to think of home projects, I use this page here and I write down the project and what I need to do. That's pretty much how I take care of home projects on a weekly basis here. Otherwise, I keep track of this stuff like in notes and in other sections of my planner in the actual home section. I will keep in some of my notes and stuff that I don't want to get rid of in that section of my planner. So I do have a catch-all section and a few other sections of reference style material, as well as I do have a section for my budget. So for decluttering and organizing, as well as cleaning and which I call home care, that's all right here, you guys. I have my dailies. I do a couple different things. Right now I'm on the kick of zone cleaning each different day. Otherwise, I love the FlyLady system and I can do that here if I want to. I have some printables in my Etsy shop for that go with the FlyLady system, and kind of like you can intertwine your style and stuff. So this is what I'm loving right now. And it just takes up this much space. I don't need a whole planner for it. And when I'm actually decluttering, I can write the things over here that I want to get decluttered. So that's how I take care of those things. Now I start daily block routines and habits because that's really important to me, that throughout the day I have a guide of the things that I need to get done or want to get done in order to achieve some of the goals that I have. And that is down here. This is my favorite. I have spending time with the Lord as a goal, taking care of my health and fitness here, cleaning in here, work stuff, my time, family stuff. I figured out how to put that together here. And in future videos, I'm not sure if it's the next one or the one after, but we're going to go over how I went about doing that, if that's something that is of interest and important to you as well. So that is where I keep track of those things. So as you can see, pretty much everything for my home is right here, or a one flip over left or right. Okay, the next thing is homeschool. I wanted to make sure that I could do my lesson planning, if I had any field trips or teacher notes, future calendars, library books, passwords, and stuff like that. This one, I actually keep track of lesson planning in here. And then all of the other things are things that I don't want to have to take out of my planner every week or month. So those things actually stay in my planner in an actual homeschool section. I have future calendars here, or in my tab called yearly, which is where I keep track of a lot of the other things that I don't need to take out of my planner. So I just found having these things in the same area as my weekly, I just didn't need to get to them, but every so often. So really what I just keep track of on a weekly basis is lesson planning. The other things are things that I kind of need in my planner all the time. So there's pretty much a section for that. So lesson planning is on my catch-all. Maybe library books. I actually don't keep track of those, but I wrote that here because I do a lot of library visits. Our passwords and stuff. I shouldn't say passwords, but like websites and stuff to go to. I have that in my phone or in my yearly tab here. So a lot of these things are referencing things, so they're in the other tabs, but the weekly and daily stuff is more lesson planning, and I keep track of that right here. That's it. Business and hobbies. So video ideas, I basically keep a running list for that because I don't want, again, to take it out of my planner and not know where it's at. So I actually do keep that in my home tab, and I have a couple areas of notes and stuff. Otherwise, I actually keep a whole notebook for that, and that's been really helpful for me, is to have it in a notebook. But if I come up with any random video ideas, I actually found that this area for me has been best for that. And then whatever these video ideas end up, whether I'm able to film them or not, if I'm not able to film them, I add them to my running video list in my journal here. Same with Etsy ideas or planner insert ideas, same thing. The way that I keep track of those, though, I kind of already explained, but I have an Etsy and a YouTube section down here. So whatever I can do in that day, I like my next thing to do, I write it here. And then, for example, film categories, I just filmed that before this video, so I can check that off. And I would have said edit categories. So the next thing that I need to do is edit the video categories. And that lets me know that that's the next thing I need to do. Once I'm done editing that, I'll check it off and write the next step. And that's kind of how I take care of my stuff on a daily and weekly basis. Otherwise, it is all referencing materials again, where I have a journal or a section where I keep my reference notes, which takes care of my notes here. Oh, and the video schedule, I just kind of write that up here. I used to have a whole section, you guys, on, and I honestly miss it because I love planning, but it really wasn't necessary. My planner was becoming super bulky, and it just didn't work out that well. It was more of a stress for me to have a whole section to keep up with. So what I do now is I just say film, edit, film, edit. And then I haven't been writing in what videos go up, just because it's so easy to look online for. And I just do it in the moment. I write, upload video here. So it's just my style. Budgeting. I have a whole section for budgeting. I actually have a whole section. And right now I have my Christmas section in there as well. So I do need to tab my actual December budget, but I have my Christmas section and my December budget here. I have my category tracker, which I think I forgot to write on there. I have my expense tracker, my annual tracker for bills, savings, and spending, and my income tracker, which I think I forgot to write on there as well. So lots of trackers, as you could tell when I was writing my list here, if you noticed, lots of trackers for budgeting. That is how I feel like I learn most about my our finances and how I keep them most organized. So I'm just going to put a big check there. I do have an actual faith and Bible section. Oh, I love this section. I feel like it is so peaceful and relaxing. And I just have my daily verse. I have a calendar here that I get from the Christian Girls Little Faith blog. And then I just like to have note paper where I can reflect on the daily verse. Here, I'll show you my last one. So I reflect on I actually summarize the daily verse, and I kind of will, this is the daily verse, and then this is my Bible study. It's actually my devotional notes here. I do my reflection or write down anything that stood out to me. I have my gratitude here, and I have my prayers here. And every now and then I like to write a letter to God, or just, just anything extra. Sometimes these little things have awesome things like choose a verse to focus on this month. So I would write that in and so forth. So I actually do not keep track of that on my Catchall. However, I do love that here, and I've thought that here I can write like one thing I am so grateful for that day. And that's kind of, another idea. I mean, I should say, and this goes with memory keeping, but my daily loves for each kid or journaling, I will actually sometimes just put a heart in the space that I have left. So I can also keep track of those things on here as well. I found that if I had a whole bunch of papers that I had to organize and stuff, it just wasn't working for me, and I knew I was going to lose a lot of my memory keeping or lesson planning or or what's going on in my life. So I find it just easier for me to store and hold on to things that are in my weekly spread. And last but not least, health and wellness. I wanted to make sure that I keep track of my weight. That actually I have as an annual tracker here. Oh, and I forgot for YouTube, just keeping track of subscribers. But so as you can see, it's not an every single day thing. I would like to do it every day, but it's there for me to put in there if I remember or can. But I do have an annual tracker, and that's not part of my weekly. However, if I wanted to keep track of it on here, I would write it somewhere, and then at the end of the week, I can update my annual tracker. Yep, you guys are hearing my kids. They're coming in. I'm going to try to wrap this up. Workouts. I actually don't keep track of my workouts anymore, but for a long time I did. I should show you that I do have my monthly, because my monthly is very important, and I would used to keep track of my monthly, my daily workouts here and so forth. And I can write those in here. But on my actual weekly catch-all spread, I actually don't keep track of those. However, I have seen people keep track of them in one of these areas. I have seen people do as I do, where I keep track of my meal logging here. And I typically try to keep it on this page or my monthly calendar of how I'm feeling, if I did a workout. And a lot of times I just do like a check mark. I'll have, I'm not doing it right now, obviously, but I'll have like a little key, and the key might have like a dot for my workout, a check mark, hopefully this isn't TMI, but like a bowel movement, a star for, something else. I just can't think off the top of my head right now. But typically I don't actually keep too much track of doing those things. I just have them down here. So if I worked out, I check it off. Okay, so that is, and my veggies. So my veggies are a big deal to get in, so I check it off. So as you can see, I incorporate my health and wellness more in my daily routine and habit section. I don't keep track of my water on paper or my vitamins, because that's kind of part of my day. I've gotten really good at that. And if I did have to keep track of that though, I would probably keep track of it here and put, however many maybe circles or a pretty sticker, and make sure that I could check off all the water. But I just was finding that it was wasted space in my planner, and I wasn't really wanting to check off my water every time. I have a water bottle that if I drink it, it's like, I think it's 32 ounces. So I try to drink a good like 3 to 4 of these, and I keep better track knowing how many times I've filled it up, if that makes any sense. And then again, I take my vitamins like first thing, so I don't really need a tracker for that. But just logging moods and feelings, again, I just kind of write it down somewhere here, or here with my meals, or on my monthly. So as you can see, everything is pretty much somewhat incorporated in my weekly catch-all for me. I did not make this specifically for every single thing, but I made it specifically for some things, and then I figured out how to play around with it to put all of the things that I want to stay focused on in these 4 pages. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know where you're at in this process. Let me know if this was helpful for you guys, and if you can see yourself using something similar like this, or one planner as a catch-all. I would love to hear where you're at with that. I've done both, and I'm finding that this system is really working for me where I'm at right now. And I love that I can still decorate, and I don't have to keep up with a whole bunch of planners for decorating. So I hope that you will join me for the next one in this series. I can't remember exactly I think that is figuring out how to do our daily routines, but I can't confirm that. But Follow along with me on Instagram. I'm at Mandy_Chavez Chapters. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't seen any of the other videos from this series, feel free to catch up. I am posting them at least every Wednesday and trying to get one more out there during the week, whether it is for this series or not. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and have a lovely, lovely day and holiday. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.